Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows: 1960s sports legends, suffixes, let's celebrate, presidential alma maters, out of this world, and plays. Player one, you start us off. Between May of 1965 and March of 1967, he defended his heavyweight boxing title an amazing 9 times. Yes, player one? That's it. Player one, pick again. The most points a player has scored in an NFL game in the last 50 years is 36 by this Bears halfback on December 12th, 1965. Here's the correct response. Gale Sayers. Select again. In the 1960s, 2 NBA players won MVP awards 4 times: Wilt Chamberlain and this Boston Celtics center. Here's the response we were looking for. Bill Russell. Please pick again, player one. In 1963, she appeared in her first Wimbledon singles title match under her maiden name, Moffat. Here's what we were looking for. Billie Jean King. Player one, you pick again, please. On August 1st, 1964, this man, nicknamed Big Daddy, became the first in drag racing history to exceed 200 miles per hour. Here's what we were looking for. Don Garlitz. Player one, pick again. We love this suffix that means lover of, as in audio or Anglo. Okay, player one.
Yeah!
You get to pick again, player one. Silly rabbit, this suffix isn't for kids. It was used for female equivalents, like for women aviators. Player one? Yep. You get to pick again, player one. This suffix, as with ACR or SYN, is from the Greek for name. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one, choose again. The suffix -ose, O-S-E, is used to form the names of these, as in glucose and sucrose. Player one?
Yeah!
Player one, back to you. A 3-letter suffix that forms the present participle of a verb, or before direct, an online banking group. Here's what we wanted. Ing. Please pick again, player one. The patron saint of lovers is honored on this annual holiday. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player one, choose again. Former U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson founded this annual observance devoted to the environment. Let's hear it, player one. Right you are. Player one, you pick again, please. Customs on this 121st day of the year include dancing around a pole and giving baskets to friends and family. Player one?
Yeah!
Player one, back to you. Collecting money for UNICEF on this holiday was begun in 1950 by a Philadelphia Sunday school class. Here's the response we were looking for. Halloween. Player 1, back to you. Meaning a coming, it's the period before Christmas that begins on the Sunday nearest to November 30th. It's Player 1. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Advent. Player 1, back to you. U.S. Military Academy, class of 1915. It's Player 1. Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. Pick again. U.S. Naval Academy, class of 1946. Here's the correct response. Jimmy Carter. Please pick again, Player 1. Georgetown, class of 1968. Here's the correct response. Bill Clinton. Select again. Harvard University, class of 1904. Player 1? Right. You get to pick again, Player 1. Eureka College, class of 1932. Here's what we wanted. Ronald Reagan. Player 1, you pick again, please. The gravitational pull of this object is the main force holding the solar system together. Okay, Player 1. Yes. We return to you, Player 1. Galileo was the first person to see the rings around this planet. Okay, Player 1. That's correct. Please pick again, Player 1. Not the first, but this second planet is the hottest because its atmosphere causes a severe greenhouse effect. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Please pick again, Player 1. The comet named for him was last seen in the skies in 1986 and won't return until 2061. Let's hear it, Player 1. Good. You again, Player 1. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. So what's your wager? All right, here's your clue. Like Pluto, Haumea and Makemake are designated as this kind of planet. Right. You get to pick again, Player 1. You might need a learner's permit to watch Paula Vogel's Pulitzer Prize play, How I Learned to Do This. Okay, Player 1. You got it. Please pick again, Player 1. The play Spinning into Butter explores political correctness at a small college in this Green Mountain state. Here's the correct response. Vermont. Player 1, choose again. Moonlight and Magnolias depicts the epic struggle to turn this novel into a 1939 film. Here's what we wanted. Gone with the Wind. Player 1, pick again. Matthew Burnett turned this Our Town playwright's novel, Theophilus North, into a play. Here's the response we were looking for. Thornton Wilder. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. In 2006, New Yorkers awoke to find his 1935 play, Awake and Sing, back on Broadway. Here's what we wanted. Clifford Odets. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Physical science. Seeing red. Jazz musicians. Asian bodies of water. Politicians. And name the playwright. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. All 5 elements of the salt-producing halogen group end in these 3 letters. One element purifies drinking water. Okay, player one. No. Here's the correct response. I-N-E. Player one, back to you. It's the lightest known stable subatomic particle. Player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we were looking for. Electron. Player one, back to you. Hygroscopic substances have a tendency to absorb this from the atmosphere. The correct response is moisture. Please pick again, player one. A body at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by a force according to Newton's law of this property. Player one. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Inertia. You get to pick again, player one. Let's take it over to Sarah.
Nuclear fusion in the sun's core produces energy that eventually flows to the photosphere, first by radiation and then by heat currents, using this process, also used in a type of oven.
Let's hear it, player one. Right. We return to you, player one. From the color of a penny, this term for something trivial often follows the words, not worth a... Yes, player one?
Yeah!
You got it. You again, player one. The website of this brand of candy, similar to Twizzlers, said it's a favorite of Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt. Okay, player one. That's right. Way to go. Select again. In 1991, this Texan and his firefighting team extinguished more than 100 oil well fires in Kuwait. Here's the response we were looking for. Red Adair. You get to pick again, player one. She brushed up her Shakespeare in 2011, starring in one film by the Bard, Coriolanus, and one film about him, Anonymous. Here's what we were looking for. Vanessa Redgrave. Select again. The Molly Pitcher Inn is a delightful waterfront hotel in this New Jersey town. Here's what we wanted. Red Bank. Please pick again, player one. His What a Wonderful World, recorded in 1967, wasn't a U.S. hit until used in the 1987 film Good Morning, Vietnam. Yes, player one? Good. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Ray Brown, Percy Heath, and Charles Mingus were stand-up guys as masters of this instrument. Let's hear it, player one. That's not right. Here's the response we were looking for. The bass. Player one, back to you. When Tommy Dorsey died in 1956, this older brother assumed leadership of the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra. We're talking about Jimmy Dorsey. Player one, pick again. His quartet's 1959 LP, Time Out, featured the classic hit, Take Five. Here's the correct response. Dave Brubeck. Player one, back to you. Leon Bismarck Beiderbecke, a legendary cornet player of the 1920s, was known by this three-letter nickname. Here's what we were looking for. Bix. You again, player one. Also called the Salt Sea, it's actually a large lake between Israel and Jordan. Player one? No. Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. The Dead Sea. Player 1, choose again. The Sea of Japan splashes against this peninsula that's politically divided into north and south. The correct response is Korea. Select again. Leading ports on this gulf include Abadan in Iran and Al-Basra in Iraq. Here's the correct response. The Persian Gulf. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. This holy river of India was named for the daughter of the mountain god Himalaya. We're talking about the Ganges. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Answer, one of the daily doubles. You are in first place. Player 1, give us a wager. Here is your daily double clue. One of the world's longest rivers, it forms the border between China's Sichuan province and Tibet. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is the Yangtze. Player 1, pick again. This former senator was the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review. Here's the correct response. Barack Obama. Please pick again, Player 1. In 2004, this North Carolinian was almost the vice president-elect. Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. John Edwards. Player 1, pick again. Before he was New York City mayor, he was the U.S. attorney who prosecuted the mafia in the Pizza Connection case. Here's what we were looking for. Rudolph Giuliani. Player 1, back to you. We hope Silvestre Reyes can keep secrets. In 2007, he became chair of the House Permanent Select Committee on this. It's Player 1. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Intelligence. You again, Player 1. This former Massachusetts governor was CEO of the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Here's what we were looking for. Mitt Romney. We return to you, Player 1. Death of a Salesman. The Crucible. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, pick again. Speed the Plow, Glengarry Glen Ross. We're talking about David Mamet. Player 1, back to you. An American Daughter, The Heidi Chronicles. Here's the response we were looking for. Wendy Wasserstein. You get to pick again, Player 1. Answer, the second daily double. And you're in the lead now. How much? The clue, lettuce and lovage. Amadeus. That is correct. And the last clue for $2,000. Curse of the Starving Class. True West. We're talking about Sam Shepard. Congratulations to you. You'll be continuing on to Final Jeopardy when we come back. Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. Historic New York City. So, what's your wager? Our Final Jeopardy clue today is the USA's first Labor Day parade in 1882 went from City Hall to this square just north of 14th Street. And your response? Sorry, that incorrect response will drop your score by... Here's the response we were looking for. Union Square. Congratulations, Player 1. You are our new champion. Good game. Thank you so much for playing.